Hi, and welcome back to another fan-made champion rework. Last time, I remade Nocturne, which was met with a very surprising amount of reception, and reading all of your responses with thoughts and feedback has been really great, so thank you all. This time around, I've remade Skarner, which also happens to be one of the champions that were available to vote for in the poll regarding the upcoming rework, and so he is indeed in need of some love. And since so many people have been requesting another rework, here it is. So last time I based the concept off of somebody else's, but this time I decided to create my own. And I did so by reading the lore and drawing inspiration from that. And here it is. My main gripe with the current look of Skarner is that he's a bit too skinny for my liking. And considering that he's called the Crystal Vanguard, I wanted to bulk him up a bit. What's immediately noticeable about this concept is that this is not the head shape that's ended up being in the final look. This is because I thought it looked fine in 2D, but as I was sculpting it, I just kept hearing Patrick from SpongeBob say, "Who you calling Pinhead?" So I scrapped it. The reason for this head shape to begin with was due to the fact that in his lore, it is mentioned quite extensively that Skarner digs a lot, and I wanted to have a drill shape to emphasize that. But I instead moved that shape down to his chin, which not only just flat out looked better, but it also stayed more true to his original design. Additionally, in his original kit there are some elements of electricity, and I decided to take that further with this rework. My idea was to have a bunch of crystals around his body that would act as conductors that carry the electrical current from the main crystal on his back, known as the namestone in his lore, out to other body parts whenever he would cast spells. So, with the visual changes out of the way, here are my ideas for a reworked kit. Skarner's passive is Energized Namestone. Passively, whenever Skarner leaves combat with an enemy champion that lasted longer than 5 seconds, he permanently gains a small amount of armor or magic resist depending on what the primary source of damage during that encounter was. If it was magic, he'll gain some magic resist, and if it was physical, he'll gain some armor. If Skarner leaves combat by dying against an enemy champion, he'll gain an increased amount of armor or magic resist. Additionally, Skarner gains electricity, which is a secondary resource other than mana, from moving around. Once he reaches 100 electricity, he will become energized. This causes his next basic ability to be empowered, and whilst in combat against enemy champions, Skarner gains slightly more electricity from moving around. Skarner's Q is Crystal Claws. Skarner slams the ground beneath him, damaging all enemies. Hitting at least one enemy with this ability reduces its cooldown slightly, stacking up to 3 times. If Skarner is energized, the slam will be slightly larger, apply a slow, and also electrify the ground beneath him, dealing damage to all enemies for a short while. Next up, his W, Electrical Exoskeleton. Skarner gains a short burst of movement speed and a shield. Additionally, he increases the amount of electricity he gains for the next 3 seconds. If he's energized, the duration of the spell will be increased, and also he will reduce all damage taken from the front by 20%. His E is Crystalline Stinger. Skarner fires a thin jolt of energy that damages all enemies and causes all enemy champions to be marked. If Skarner auto-attacks marked enemies within a short window, he will stun them and regenerate 20 electricity. When he's energized, the length of the jolt, duration of the mark, and duration of the stun will all be increased. Finally, we have Bracken Abduction. Skarner does a short dash and strikes with the stinger, impaling the first enemy struck and burrowing down on the ground with them. For a short duration, Skarner can then recast this ability to appear with the impaled enemy at target location. The enemy is suppressed for the entire duration. Skarner also gets energized after unburrowing. However, if Skarner doesn't hit an enemy, he will not burrow on the ground and he doesn't get energized. So, that's my suggestion for a reworked Skarner. I tried to stay true to his original kit and visual design, whilst modernizing him a bit as well. And much like last time, this was more so a fun practice experiment rather than anything else, so take everything here with a grain of salt. But of course, if you have any feedback or thoughts, please share them. I learned a lot by reading your responses last time, so please feel free to share anything you have on your mind. Also, for those wondering, I have started working on yet another one of these reworks already. However, please note that these projects do take quite a lot of time to make, so don't expect them to be released all that often. And if people really want to see more of these kinds of videos, please let me know, and be sure to follow me over on YouTube if you want to see more. And as a quick teaser, my next rework will be of Zillion. I have already made up a kit and a visual direction that I would like to take, but it is still in the early stages, so if anyone has any suggestions for abilities, lore, design, whatever, please suggest that down below. And of course, if I use any of your ideas, I will make sure to credit you in the next video. And with that said, I would like to thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.